Okay, people are waiting to join. Who's waiting? Mr. Mays? Deny entry. Hello?
Hello.
Hi, Mr. Mays. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, Stephanie?
I'm good. I just need some wisdom.
Yeah, absolutely.
How's your family? How have you been?
We are all good. We are all good. No complaints at all. Boys are good. Thank you for asking. How's yours?
Oh, everything's good. Everything's good. So, are you
Good.
working today or did I catch you at a good time?
Oh no, perfect time.
Okay. Well, Mr. Mays, I kind of forgot all of what you do,
Uh-huh.
but I just remember that you're extremely knowledgeable and you just seem to always know what to say. So I figured if there's one person that can at least help me see things in a different way, it would be you.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, as I texted you before, what's been happening over the last several months is we've been prioritizing seeking a strategic partner.
Mhm.
And to that end, we've been in several meetings with all kinds of CTOs of different companies.
Yeah.
And so we finally found a newish investment firm that's actually here in Houston, which is a miracle.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because of course that would be much better than going with venture capitalists in Silicon Valley because I really don't want to move there. so,
Right. Right.
so and we found them at the Ion, so the same place I met you.
Nice.
So, but they are new and they're still setting some things up and getting some investors to invest in them. And then they basically invest in some companies that they believe in. And we are one of them.
Yeah.
Now, my question and what I'm struggling with, Kevin, is how do you properly know the value of your company when it's pre-revenue and pre everything. So,
Yeah.
because as you
Yeah.
know, one of the biggest mistakes we make as founders is we either undervalue like crazy or we overvalue our product. And I've done a lot of research to find a good middle ground.
Yeah.
But as you know, when you have these AI startups who are all coming out of nowhere and claiming to have $50 million valuations and they have
Yeah.
zero product. They have just this, they're a seed idea and they're like, we raised $100 million. This one
Yeah.
says they have their product, their idea is worth 1 billion. And I'm like, but they don't have anything. It's a cheap AI wrapper that has
Right.
no moat and it does the exact same thing as other AI wrappers that failed. So I'm avoiding that route, but at the same time, given what we have and what we've created and how it's incredibly different from anything AI is and 100% AI independent, and also the fact that it does revolutionize the film industry in a very real way, not in a clout way or a hype way, but in a
Yeah.
way that you yourself have seen. So when judging that based on like because I was doing our initial valuation at 5 million,
Uh-huh.
and I came to that based on you're gonna laugh, but I came to that based on looking at Steve Jobs and Wozniak's company
Uh-huh.
and how they were pretty much in the same area or valuation that I believed we were in because when Apple computers got their first investor, they were at that time in a garage. They were pretty much pre revenue,
Yeah.
and they were still very much just an idea with a bunch of like motherboards that they were
Yeah.
trying to put together into a computer. So, and they were bootstrapping at that time. Steve Jobs had to sell his car just to keep the lights on. So, I
Yeah.
was looking at our company from that lens of very early, hardly proven in terms of like what someone would look at from the outside and see. And I
Yeah.
thought, okay, uh, they were at 5 million at that time, about, and that's kind of where we are. But then, after speaking with several investors, I'm being told that I'm undervaluing the company drastically.
Yeah.
So I really don't know. Like the last guy I spoke to, he said we really should be at a 10 to 25 million valuation at where we are.
Yeah.
And while, and it's funny because he said that we are on the path to becoming a multi-billion dollar platform, which of course I already know. But I don't want to go to an investor and say we're a billion dollar tool because everyone says that.
Right. For sure.
How do you prove that? You know, I know what we can become, but how do I, what do I say to an investor now and say, like, if I'm being told that we are at a $25 million valuation pre-revenue, pre-seed.
Right.
I believe that.
Absolutely.
But
Absolutely.
how, if I'm speaking to someone who does not believe that, that's why I'm trying to speak to you to say, how would Kevin, how would you say this?
Yeah, for sure. So I mean, there's so many elements and variables that go into evaluation.
Hmm.
Um, but just starting with your intellectual property, um, your proprietary, the actual software, um, what's built into the software, any of your patents, trademarks, um, all of those things go into that, which I'm sure you're aware of.
Hmm.
Um, I think you also can take the kind of the beta testing and the classroom settings that you've been in, and you can wrap that into it. Um, and then, from the standpoint of taking it from your modest 5 million to, a $25 million valuation, um, it's just maybe even saying, hey, in phase one, we hope to introduce it to 5,000 users.
Hmm.
Phase two, we hope to take it to, an additional 15,000 users. Um, and you start that pipeline development. Um, and then the competitiveness of your platform is going to be, what's next. And how you can defend against those competitor brands coming in and creating what you've created, is going to be the strongest portion of your valuation. Um, so I would say, like you said before, in kind of scaling back what you showed through social media and YouTube and all those channels, because people were trying to emulate what you were building, um, is what makes it to be the strongest. And then from a pure time perspective, when we talked about uh, the amount of time that it takes to to create in the current landscape as opposed to what your product can do. Um, that alone in itself, adds however much value you'd say. You could take, all of the rendered video or rendered movies and works that were done this year on, a major scale, and say, um, just for ease of the numbers, let's say that there was $100 million spent on, movie and project renderings for this style. And then you go and say, well, with my platform, that $100 million can be tripled or quadrupled because we can render in X amount less time. So then what is the value of that? How much more would a company spend, or how would they allocate to have a faster product as well? So, you could probably throw on $1 billion on just for that reason alone.
Exactly.
And then, once you look at all of the other use cases, and as you continue to develop, I know right now, and I know you mentioned before that, video game development wasn't something that, this was built for, but, that could be the next thing. It could be the gateway or the pipeline to improving, that technology. So I would say, if what your software is what the value for it is. And I mean, just on the rendering piece alone, you could add any number you want to that amount, and people are going to say they only have the option to agree because they're spending, tens of millions of dollars to do something that, your program can do seamlessly, simultaneously.
Wow.
You know?
I knew you were the right guy to talk to. I knew you were the right guy. It's amazing. You said almost exactly what I've spent months saying in pieces,
Yeah, yeah.
because that is almost exactly. I made a video a few months ago when I found out about a game. There's a game, I forgot what it's called, but it's a new game, and I found out that it received about $800 million for that game to be made.
Wow, yeah.
That's almost a billion. And they had a team of 500 plus engineers working on that game.
Wow.
Yeah. So, Kevin, that's 500 plus engineers working on a game that has a budget of almost $1 billion.
Yeah.
And when
what's the name? What game is that?
Oh man, let me check. Let me check. I think it was
that,
The Witcher.
Is that Grand Theft Auto?
No, I think it's The Witcher 4. The Witcher.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's being made by the Unreal Engine. I don't know if you know about that engine, but it's one of the main game engines that they use. Yeah,
spoke about it.
That was trying to compete with us. And we are ranked above all game engines in terms of render quality. So what I did was I took a side-by-side comparison of the best that they made with Unreal Engine for The Witcher. And all I did was I just Googled The Witcher and I looked at the imagery that they produced, and I was like, Univah makes much higher quality renders than this.
Yeah.
And they require, and for them to get to that, that's what kills me, is for them to for them to arrive at that image, Kevin, it required 800 million and 500 developers for them to arrive at an image that Univah produces a superior quality with one person behind a computer.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that alone, I don't know, how do you value that?
Take as much of the pie as you want.
Right. So that's what I've been talking about. I'm like, I don't know how to value our company, because if I can by myself produce higher quality renderings and animations that requires a big studio, 500 engineers, and $800 million to do. That's so disruptive that I'm even scared to talk about it. Guys, people are going to get mad.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
So,
so I mean, again, we're speaking the same language. I would just, put that value where you need it to be. I mean, you don't need, how many engineers you say they had working on it?
513 engineers.
Yeah, so if you can cut yours down to, 206 or 207 engineers, they could spend the same amount of money, they can spend less money, they can spend more money.
Mm-hmm.
But the quality that they'll get and the speed in which they'll receive it will be, a lot faster. So, I mean, again, any project that you put it alongside, you are changing the workflow drastically.
Right.
It opens the door for, new entities, for new players in different industries. It just does a lot. So, I mean, I wouldn't even think that 25 million would be the top number. I would say 100 million.
Yeah.
And who's going to argue with that?
Yeah. It's definitely 100 million up when you're in the Silicon Valley area,
Yep.
because they talk about $1 billion like it's $1 over there.
Right.
So,
Yep. Absolutely.
but in Texas, it's a bit different because this is not. They don't think now. If this was an oil and gas type of thing,
Yep.
I feel like it would be easier to sell that. But Houston isn't, as you know, it's not the biggest film hub, So,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
but because we're a software company that's going to build many different softwares in different industries, this is just the beginning. This is just one of our offerings. So, and Univah can be used in so many different things. It can be used for medical simulations. It can be used for oil and gas simulations. If you want to make an oil and gas animation showing some animations, you would do that in Univah. So it has so
Yeah.
many different use cases. But my other question now would be for you, Kevin. If let's say you put yourself in an investor's shoes, and I want you to be 1,000% blunt and honest with me,
Mm-hmm.
okay? If you were an investor and I came to you and you had $1 billion just sitting around, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you were looking for something to invest in, and I presented this to you, what would be your biggest bottleneck for you to say yes? What would you need me to show you for you to be sold?
The biggest thing is always going to be, for anyone looking to, you know, make money on their investment or recoup the money on their investment,
Mm-hmm.
is, current revenue, or the potential drivers toward revenue, whether that is, maybe you have DreamWorks or Sony that has given you, you know, 3 projects to work on in the future, or that you have, an MOU on, or whatever the case may be, or some sort of, partnership being constructed that shows like, hey, this is the beginning of what's to come, and we just have to continue to develop. I think that's the only thing. The technology is there, the imagery is there, all of those things are there. The next step is, continuing to get it placed within the industry, and showing true proofs of concept.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's it. So, there's another company that I've been talking with. This is a sports tech company that's doing some things with football and play calling and things like that. But very similar to you, their first phase is going after emerging or current industry experts to be the testers in phase one, similar to what we're doing with HISD and Dr. Allen, and what we'll do in the Pasadena School District, where a good friend of mine is a principal. Building those use cases and showing the reps of the platform and how it works, how it can be easily taught, how it can impact the workflows of, different companies and organizations, and all those things.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. That's great. The great news about all of this, Kevin, is that we have all those things.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
yeah,
have all those things. And it's really shocking to me. And it's really common sense because if I was an investor, I would want to make my money back. I just want to know.
yeah,
I just want to
yeah,
know that I'm investing in something that I'm going to that's going to succeed. It's not, it's not rocket science. People just want, if they give you $2, they hope that you'll make
yeah,
$4. You know,
yeah,
yeah,
absolutely,
and they
absolutely.
want to know what is the customer acquisition cost. What is it going to take to make those $4? You know,
Yeah, yeah,
so if we just take it right back down to basic 5-year-old knowledge of selling, lemonade, you know,
yeah,
we got to make
yeah,
our lemonade money back. And if we show an investor, okay, we are already talking to schools, we provide this software for free to universities, to schools, because it lowers the barrier to entry. This is
yes,
not a
yeah,
loss. This is 100% the right thing to do. And we are the only company doing it. Our competitors like Autodesk, they do not provide the learner's edition of their software. It's not free. They provide it at a
yeah,
discount. So with us coming and giving it 100% free, there is no barrier to entry. And when you do that for students and you do that for teachers, what happens is that these people, they hardly ever just make things and not talk about it. Everyone loves to talk about the thing that they've made. People
yeah,
love posting it on social media. So if you have 100 students posting about, oh, I made this in Univah, look at what I made in Univah, and teachers also doing the same thing, that is now
yeah,
marketing that we didn't have to pay for. So with every school that we get into, which we try to make sure that in return we're getting, hey, make sure you post about it. Whenever you teach
yeah,
it, tell your students, post about it. That's the payment. That's how you pay us back. Just post it,
yep,
share
absolutely,
it,
absolutely.
and when we're generating that SEO organically from real people posting about the software, that helps us tremendously, because then that automatically transforms from this student loving the free version to now wanting the pro version, which they'll pay for gladly. Once they see that, hey, if I can do this with the free version, the pro version, I definitely want that when I'm ready to make a film. So
Yep,
they already know the software, they're just now upgrading to pro.
yeah,
So showing that to an investor, I think, like you said, super important to mention that. And then also, like you said, DreamWorks, all these big studios, while they're not going to be sending us projects to make, because that's not what we do. We don't make the projects for them. What we do
right,
is we make the software and they make the projects themselves.
right, right, right,
But
yeah, absolutely.
I understand what you meant, because what you're saying is basically that if we have even just 20 professionals, each paying for pro, or they buy the perpetual license, which is 7 grand. If 20 people buy the perpetual license, you see what I'm saying? If you
Yeah,
have
absolutely.
if you have even just Autodesk and their studio, and
Yeah,
if they all buy the pro license, which is $77, or they get the light version, which is $27. I mean, if everyone at Adobe, you see what I mean? So
right, right.
when you have hundreds of thousands of Adobe users, and they all find out about Univers Pro, and they're like, "Wow, we want this," and they all get it.
Yeah, we need that.
Even if they get the cheapest version of Univers, which is Univers Lite for $27, I've already done the math. We only need 2,000 users. With two
Yeah,
thousand users a month, we hit 1.3 million ARR, annual
yeah.
recurring revenue, with just 2,000 users. Kevin, do you know how? Do you know Do you know how many users a month Adobe has?
Oh, I can. I mean, just on our campus alone, I mean, we have a university account, so everybody on our campus has one, and that's 5,000 people, something like that, if
Yeah.
they use it. But
So that's what I'm saying. Like we have very realistic projections. I've done the math, even at the cheapest rate, which is the Univers Lite, which is twenty-seven
yeah,
dollars. Everybody has $27 in their account to blow on things. You spend
yep,
more than that a month on coffee. I promise
right,
you.
right,
So at McDonald's, you're spending more than that on lunch. So
yep,
even if we get 2,000 people paying for just 20 the Univers Lite, and then another 2,000 or 1,000 for Univah Lite, 1,000 for Univah Pro. That is $77. That's cheaper than your cell phone bill. I
Yeah.
know for a fact that's cheaper than the iPhone cell phone bill every month. So we've priced it.
you
We've priced it, and it's cheaper than our competitors. It's cheaper than any Autodesk or Adobe product. So
know,
that's the same thing Ben was talking to me about. He was like, if we market this, we can get 10,000 users in one day with just marketing, just because of how
yeah.
revolutionary the product is.
Right,
If
right,
we
right,
market, if we get Adobe on board, if Adobe acquired us and promoted this thing, we would get all of those users in 1 month, in one day, just from them wanting to try the tool. So we understand that we have very realistic the ability for us to acquire users, Kevin, is not a magical, like, how are we going to do this thing? It's a very
right.
achievable,
Yeah,
because of the
yeah,
product itself being so good and us focusing so much on making the product easy to use. Once people actually see it, they're going to want to try it. And once they try it, they're going to want to buy it. So we know
absolutely.
that we're going to get those customers. We're going to get the 2,000 users minimum every month. So
Yep.
at that point, when we're hitting the minimum of 2,000 users a month to be successful, and then we're hitting 5,000 users a month, 10,000 users a month, and then our competitors, do you know how many users Unreal Engine has? They have millions of users a month. Autodesk has at least 500,000 users a month.
Wow,
Yeah. And their product
wow.
is significantly more expensive than ours.
Yeah, that's
So
something.
when you have Autodesk with 500,000 users a month, Blender, which is free, they have millions of users a month, 70 million users. I
Wow.
mean, yeah. Then Unity and Unreal Engine, millions of users a month, because their product is free until you make a certain amount of money. Then you have to pay royalties.
Yeah, yeah.
So, and we also have that platform as well. We have an SDK coming out, which is going to allow developers to build their software using our platform. So we also have the Univah Film Engine SDK, which is basically going to allow entrepreneurs to build their own software using our technology. We're just going to license out our technology and collect royalties once they meet about $1 million. So we're
Okay.
also doing that as well. With all of that said, what do you think, Kevin?
Man, I mean, it makes perfect sense. And obviously, the technology is where it needs to be. So it's time to continue to put this thing in action. So I think we're off to a great start.
Yeah.
You know?
So I have a meeting on Friday with the investment firm here in Houston
Uh-huh.
that wants to invest in this company.
Mhm.
And this meeting is the second meeting I'm having with them. And I
Okay.
wanted to just get your wisdom on, you've confirmed a lot of things for me, because I think a lot of things in my
Yeah.
head, but I'm like, am I the only one who feels this way? Or
Right.
can other people see this too? And you've confirmed that it's not just in my head. And that's
No,
really,
not at all.
yeah, that's really what I needed. I don't want to be a delusional founder that, like, oh, we're worth $1 billion. Oh yeah, well, how?
Yeah, right, right. Not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all.
So going into this meeting, Kevin, what so here's what I have, okay? I
Mhm.
have our pitch deck, which I sent to them,
Mhm.
which explains how we have zero dependency on cloud, which is
Mhm.
why we're so profitable. The fact that we have zero dependency on AI and any cloud infrastructures, that's the main reason why we only need 2,000 users in order to
Right.
hit 1.3 million.
Yep.
The cloud needing the cloud also makes it very difficult for schools to adopt us. That's something that a lot of people don't know. So a lot of
Mhm.
universities and schools, what I found when I go there to talk about our software, the first thing they ask us is, does it need to be on the cloud?
Right.
And they don't like cloud software because of safety issues and selling
Yeah.
information, user information. So by us not needing any cloud, we don't have to connect to any cloud. We're much safer for schools. That's why they adopt us quicker.
Yes.
So that's on the pitch deck. So I have my pitch deck. I also have our projections, which is tier one, tier two. I have a 4-tier projection plan, which shows exactly how much we need in order to hit. Like I told you, we need the tier one would be minimum 2,000 users to hit 1.3 million ARR. And then I have the tier 2, which is 5,000 users. And then I have tier 3, which is 10,000, 40,000 users. And what happens when we're hitting, 100,000 users? At that point, it's a multi-billion dollar company.
Yeah.
So
100%.
um, I have those projections for the investor, and we have a staggering 95+% margin, Kevin. Have you ever heard of that before?
No, it's unheard of.
Yeah, we have a
Unheard of.
95+% margin from tier 1 all the way up. So even if for some reason we get stuck at only 2,000 users, we're still
Right.
making
Still,
95% margin.
you know,
And that is because of the fact that our software, I've eliminated almost all overhead. And I've realized that a lot of the crap that people think they need, we don't really need. So even when we factor in the cost, as because of course, as we grow, Kevin, our expenses will grow. But
yeah.
again, because we don't rely on the cloud, today, right now, Kevin, if we were to get 2 million users, if we get 2 million users, our operation costs doesn't increase. Isn't that crazy?
That's something.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen often.
So from 0 users to 2 million users, our operation costs doesn't increase at all. And the only thing that I can see us needing to hire immediately would just be support staff. We would need maybe 1 or 2 support staff to answer phone
Yeah.
calls. But again, I've already kind of solved that because I made sure that number 1, we have a published manual on Amazon. Number 2, that same published manual is on our website for free. I've already created all video documentation teaching everyone how to use the software, how to install the software, how to uninstall the software. When you create very good tutorials, it eliminates the need for people to call you to say, hey, Kevin, how do I do this?
Mm-hmm.
You
Yep.
see, so with the documentation that's available, very few people are going to be calling us asking. And if few people are calling us asking for help, then we don't need a team of 100 support staff.
Right. Right.
You
To
see?
support the
So
cause.
when I tell you that over the past 6 years, Kevin, I have thought of every area and how to eliminate overhead. I mean, I have really, I have done everything to make this as self-serving as humanly possible. So that the only time you're picking up the phone to call us is if we just genuinely have not covered that subject at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So we don't, so by us not needing a large team of support staff, that drastically eliminates. That's why our profit margins are so high. They wouldn't be so high if we had to pay 100 staff. you know
Right.
so by us not needing so much support staff, by us not having to hire 500 developers like the Witcher, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's also why. So I have our projections, I have our pitch deck, which I'll be presenting on Friday to these guys, and I have also just the software, just showing the software.
Yeah.
and and like you said, just going over who is the target audience, who's going to be using this tool, and the prices, the costs. Is there anything that I'm missing that an investor cares about?
Mm, I don't think so. I think the biggest thing is just going to be, um, your projection in acquiring customers, making sure that's solid. But other than that, I think everything else is, excuse me, where it needs to be.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
I am very excited, and
Yeah. No, you should be. You put in a lot of work.
yes.
Mhm.
Kevin, I cannot wait for you to see when this thing is complete.
Yeah.
You're like the first person I'm gonna call. I'm like, Kevin.
I appreciate it. Yeah.
I can't wait for you to see when this thing is complete. Your babies. We're gonna make sure your babies grow up using it.
Oh yeah. No, absolutely.
We gotta get. Do you have 2 sons? Are they twins?
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
Okay.
Identical twin boys.
We're gonna have to get your 2 boys. in some sort of coding. I'm going to teach them C++.
Yeah.
We got to
They
get
are
them
the
in there
future.
so they can start making their own software early.
Yep, they are the future, no doubt. No
Yes.
doubt.
So,
You know,
yes, Kevin, thank you so much for your time. And
no, absolutely. I'm glad we were able to touch base.
yeah, I'm going to go over everything. And after Friday, I will text you about what they say. And it's awesome because they're just downtown, not far from the Ion, their office.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, so I will just contact you and let you know. Thank you so much, Kevin. I really appreciate your wisdom on this because I was like,
Awesome.
I don't
Absolutely. No
know.
problem at all.
Yeah, thank you.
Yep.
Do
Yep,
you have
no
any
problem.
questions for me?
Yep, you too. I look forward to hearing some good news on Friday.
Alrighty. Any questions for me before I go?
Oh, no questions right now.
Okay. Thank you so much, Kevin. Have a good day.
All right, you too.
Bye bye.
Yep, bye-bye.